So the three main things in electrical is V equal to IR, the main formula. Okay, V equal to IR. Okay, so what is V, I, and R? The V is the force to push the electrons. Okay, if you put a V between here and here, because this is aluminum and here's plastic, between here and here you put a V, there'll be electron flow, because this aluminum and all metals, they like to throw away electrons from the outer shell. Okay, that's the characteristic of metals. Non-metals like this one, it likes to take in the atom, like to take in electrons. Okay, that's why copper is 2+, and oxygen is a non-metal, is 2-. Okay, Cu is copper. Okay, copper 2+ means it has given away 2 electrons. It's supposed to be number of electron, number of proton same, so it's no charge. It's no charge, chargeless. Okay, but because it likes to throw away 2 electrons, it becomes 2+. That means there's more proton than electron. This oxygen, which is a non-metal, it likes to take in electron. Okay, so that's why if I put a voltage between here and here, there's a flow, because there's a lot of free electron, which is the aluminum throw away. Okay, so there'll be a flow of current. If I put between here and here, there's no flow, because there's no free electrons in there. Okay. Okay. So okay, in electrical, these two are the main formulas. Actually, we go to work in industry, mostly you'll be using these two. I mean, there is a bit more complications, like basically you need to know the power formulas. I think that one is important. Okay. Okay. I'll send you all these notes I'm writing down. Okay. So basically in electrical, if you know 1, 2, and these triangles, you're pretty much set. That's it. That's pretty much what you need to know. Okay. So because this triangle gives you 6 formulas. Even me, you ask me to learn 6 formulas, I cannot. I'm not good in memory like that. Okay. But if I draw triangles, very easy. Okay. So there's normally, you see some people can memorize something. It's because they found some tricks. You know, there's one of our top student in UCTS, Wong Chang Seng. He make small little string of words to memorize things, and that's how most people do it. You know, the smart people, you see, they can memorize so much. Actually, they make something behind. Like a story is a very important thing. I'll tell you one story after this. Okay. Because humans, you know, we live a lot of times, ages where people tell us stories. Millions of years, people have been telling stories to humans, okay, from our father, grandfather. So our nature is to listen to stories, and stories can make us remember. Okay. 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 So basically, if you have 1, 2, and these triangles, you pretty much can do most of electrical. Okay. So what is a triangle? These are the power triangles. Okay. So you just need to know this is single phase and 3-phase. Okay. So in single phase, P equal to VI. I already write down here, P equal to VI. Okay. But the hypotenuse, this side, that means it's called adjacent. Jiran. I think that's what they call him in BM mathematics. Okay. Sebelah, and I don't think it's jiran. I forgot. It is adjacent. Adjacent is nearby. I forgot the word they use in BM mathematics. Okay. So adjacent means near the triangle. Okay. Sorry, near the angle. Okay, near the angle. So this is near the angle. It is, you always put a cos near the angle. Opposite of the angle, you always put a sine. That means whatever is here, near the angle, you put a cos, and opposite of the angle, you put a sine. Okay. Okay. Near the angle, which is called adjacent, you put a cos, and opposite of the angle, you put a sine. Okay. And then when you go to three-phase, you just add a root 3. You just add a root 3 before the VI. Okay, you add a root 3 before the VI. So same thing. Adjacent to the angle, you put a cos. Opposite the angle, you put a sine. So this way, you have 6 formulas here. Okay. So what they call these formulas are, these are the real power. Okay. How to describe real power? Okay. When you carry a weight, okay, say you carry a weight, okay, say a string is carrying the weight, okay, the work to do, the work to carry this is the bottom here. It's called the real power, okay, and this one is the amount of magnetic field in your motor. You see, when you carry this one with a motor, the motor's magnetic field is represented by this one. Okay? And then SESCO supply to the motor power, right? That one is here. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? So you carry a weight on a table. Okay. Okay, so I draw here. You see, this motor is on the table, is carrying a weight. The work, the power to lift this up is the real power. Okay. At that time, the motor will have some magnetic field that's called reactive. Okay. And then SESCO supply to this motor is called resultant. So the real is here, reactive is here, and SESCO supply resultant is here. Okay. So you know this, that's it. Okay. 99% of electrical job, you only need to know this. Okay. So basically 1, 2, and this 2 is split into 6. Okay. So basically it's 6 plus 1 is 7 different formulas. You can do almost all of electrical already. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we've got more people here. So let me, last one to take your attendance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. How I take attendance just by print screen, this screen, and send it to the administration. Okay. Okay, so to describe the V equal IR, it's the most important formula electrical. Okay. My father was a World War II soldier fighting the Japanese in Burma. And then he was transferred to Singapore to Cebu. You see, my oldest brothers born in Cebu. Okay. In the airport where I'm working right now, the Cebu airport, which is now UCTS. Okay. So when he went to Singapore right after the war, the white man interviewed him. Okay, it was moving from military to Air Force to telecom. So the white man interviewed him. Okay, what's the formula for electricity? Vigalaya. Okay, you got a job. Okay, and that was 1947, just after the war. Okay, so till now, later I joined Cisco. I was Cisco engineer for 2 years, and then later I moved to Western Digital for about 14 years. The Western Digital interview for electrical, the top guy like they call PM team, the PM team guy, the highest guy, okay. Guarantee one question is this one, but they don't ask this. How they ask? What is Ohm's law? Okay, they will put the, when you come for interview, they put this and then they cover it, and then they have all the questions written here for them to ask you, right? So you don't know vehicle IR? Okay, reject. Guarantee reject. They wouldn't take anyone who don't know vehicle IR. Okay, that means Ohm's law. They don't ask. They just ask what's the formula for electricity, or maybe sometimes they ask what is Ohm's law. Okay, it is very common in electrical interviews. Okay, so you must know this one, Ohm's law, the most important law of electrical. So vehicle IR, what's the meaning? Say you got a straight road, say the Pan Borneo Highway. Okay, Pan Borneo Highway near Cebu lah. Okay, put it near Cebu. Okay, so it's a straight road. So you got a Kanchil and BMW. The BMW has high V. Okay, the Kanchil has low V. Okay, the V is low. Okay, the speed of the car is the I. Okay, sometimes the Kanchil can go faster than the BMW if drivers are clever enough. Okay, so the speed is the I, and the traffic jam, when you reach Cebu traffic jam, the one is the R. Okay, that's how to describe the vehicle IR. Okay, and then most of power is coming from hydro because we have a very rare situation in Sarawak because we are the equator. Equator get the most water in the world. Okay, there are a few other exceptional cases, which is I just found out, like Norway, the country of Norway, get almost as much rain as Sarawak, even though it is near the North Pole. Okay, and that's why they fully utilize what they have. See, this is one thing about I notice about Europeans. They tend to utilize what they have. Okay, we have hydro, we got water, and how come we don't use it? See, you must use what you have. In fact, I saw a YouTube video of a British girl in 1967 or 68, traveling on a Rajang River, going up to Kapit and down. So she was talking the whole way. And then one thing she said, these people have a very big resource, water. 1968, okay? We didn't build our first dam until 1980 something, the Patang Ai Dam, okay? So 60 something, they're already talking about it. See, other countries like Norway, they know they have a lot of water, they make maximum use of it. Norway, the country of Norway is 98% hydro. The electric needs 98% hydro. Okay, I mean, Europeans of course got their flaws and all that, but as far as from what I noticed, you have a resource, you don't make use of it, is crazy. Okay, and like Norway, they have a resource, they got water, of course they make use of it. Okay, so we have water and mountain. That's another thing Norway has, mountain. Most of Norway is mountain. Okay, and Sarawak has a lot of mountain on the border to Indonesia. So the hydro needs two things: high flow of water, which is Sarawak has because of our heavy rain, and we got mountains. Okay, so if you don't build a dam, it's like crazy, It's like God gives you an advantage, you don't want to use it. Okay, you find out through your life that you are good in something. I don't know, maybe you can throw darts. Wow, you are expert, but you don't want to take it further. you can win competition lah. You know you are somehow good in this. Okay, so you make use of it. Okay, so that everyone should do that lah. Like people or countries, they must find what's their advantage and make use of it. Okay, maybe you are a footballer, but you find out you can do something in the field that others cannot do. Then do that one. Don't do something else. Okay, you must find your advantage and make use of it. Okay, and then some people don't know what to do also in life, play football or do something. But if they find out somehow you first time you play football already, you're very good. That's your thing. You must play football. Okay. Like me, I feel it's electrical lah. I'm kind of good in electrical because I'm careful worker. I'm not a fast worker. I tend to make things quality lah. Okay. I screw things with long screwdrivers. See, this is important. You see, actually this is illegal in Cisco exam. You must have the cover. See, like this, there's a cover, right? In Cisco exam, all the screwdrivers must have cover. But I cannot find one with cover. That's why for my own job, I use this. Okay, so this is my toolbox. Okay, I carry. Of course, I take away most of this thing and bring whatever I need on my waist lah. Okay, I don't bring the whole thing out. Okay, so but my tools are always. You see, when you want to tighten the screw, you must use a long one. That's the only way you can get the torque. Okay, so you just can't get a proper torque. And then this one is very important. I have. Yeah. Keep it away. This is my file. Why you need a file? Kike. Because whenever you see a wire a bit off color, like black or slightly off from copper color, you must file it before you join. If not, it's very dangerous because the off color from copper color is actually copper oxide, which is an insulator. You join two wires, which is not pure color of copper. You see there's a bit of insulation in between the two wires. Okay, so there'll be arcing, small arcing. Eventually, be a fire. Okay, so that's why this is the best. And also for you, when you want to solder, sometimes you cannot solder, right? Because solder doesn't stick to copper oxide, so you just file it and then you can solder. Okay, and then I have this. It's useful now. All these things. This one very important. Get a good one now. Now I see some students they even buy this one. Cannot open. It's not very smooth. Okay, good. Okay. I find this also very useful lah. Most of my job I need this. My script player. This is the correct one. See, a long one with insulation. Okay, very useful lah. Okay. I bought this, which I find in my electrical job I use a lot. Now to cut big wires. Okay. This one, any big wire also can cut. Okay. Knife, very important. Okay, you have a good pen knife. Why? Your insulation time you roll on a joint. You don't go and pull. When you pull, you damage the insulation. Okay, so you just cut. Okay. But one of the most important thing is this one. As an electrician, wajib lah. I say wajib. Of course, you can use test pens. Okay, use test pen, but in Malaysia say a lot, but Europe they ban this one. Why they ban this one? The current going through here, going through your finger and coming through your body. So that's why they ban this. And there are people, because I've been teaching contractors for 12 years. They told me if you buy alang-alang, especially from the cheapest store in the town, pandai melutup pun. Melutup dalam tangan. Okay. So the replacement of this one, Europe, they say you must use this one. Okay. So this one I keep it in a metal because when you go to site, you cannot carry a plastic thing like this because site always very rough wood, right? You cannot carry a plastic thing like this. So that's why I keep it in. I found a nice box like this, so I keep it steady. And always take out the battery. Okay, battery you must take out. Yeah, so I just keep it like that. Okay. Okay. So why all electrical instruments you must take out battery, if not you get spoiled. Okay. Okay. So so this is the wire for my computer. Okay. Actually, you can find where it's neutral. It doesn't light up on neutral. Only light up on light. This one now too sensitive. I don't know why I cannot find neutral now. I don't know why today it's sensitive. The day I showed my students, you can find out one point which is it doesn't light up. That means it's neutral. It doesn't light up on neutral. It only light up on light. Okay. So if you go and look at the accident reasons for accident in electrical in Cisco, you're going to see the record. Most of the accident that people even die are actually LV, low voltage. Okay, household, office, factories, low voltage. Okay, the high voltage normally expert people only deal with high voltage. Okay, so school people. So the rate of people dying in high voltage is very, very low. Okay, and the low voltage, we're going to read how they died now. 100%, I can say what I read so far, 100% if they have this, they won't die. Okay. So that means this can save almost all electrical accident cases. Okay. That's why in Europe they make it wajib. Okay, when you buy this, you must get it from Bitulu. Okay. You must get it from Bitulu. It's food. You cannot get. You can find Alalang brand. The problem, Alalang brand, they might give you the wrong signal. Okay. Have, they say don't have. Don't have, they say have. So in Bintulu, I only found one shop. It's called Imperial. Let me try to find the spelling. IMPERE. PERARE. Okay, I knew I was wrong. PERARE. R-A-R-E. Okay, this is a shop in Beetaloo. Okay, so this is a useful shop because, like me as a electrical contractor, I don't go to any shop. If I go to shop in the whole Sarawak, I only trust this shop. One in Kuching, and Miri, I'm not so confident yet. Okay, because I haven't done any project in Miri yet. But Beetaloo, definitely this one. Okay, because instruments, the whole Sarawak is the best shop. Okay, instead of multimeter, voltmeter. Okay. Okay, this is my voltmeter. This shop is located in next to Laksa House. You ask people in Beetaloo where Laksa House is, next to it. Okay. Of course, I don't eat in that shop. I'm vegetarian. Okay, so this is all the cables for the meter. Okay, so this is the meter. Okay, so can say very expensive lah, 1,007. Why is it 1,007? It's only about 900, but the thing that make it 1,007 is this one. Okay, this thing make it 1,007. That means this thing is half the price of the whole meter. Why you need this? You see, if you like that, sometimes big wires you cannot go through. Okay, so you need this one to go through a lot of big wires, and then you can cover a lot of wires here to take the amps. Okay. Why you need to take a lot of wires at one go is because in factories there's normally 4 wires, 4 big wires. So you put around all 4 and see any reading here. Any reading here, that's a leakage current. That means the factory is leaking current. Okay, that's what electrical technician need to do. Okay, so that's why you need such a big one. So basically, this and this are half the price. Okay. Oh, you need good instruments, lah. Okay. If you want to buy, just buy good one. Don't waste your money. One time, because it is actually for the Wyman exam also you need a multimeter. I think it's written in your exam paper. Just before your practical exam, they ask you to bring a multimeter. Okay. So most people in Sarawak buy Sanwa. So Sanwa is good lah. I mean, for me, this one lasts very long time. Drop down also like crazy. No problem. Still functioning very well. Analog. Okay. I see most senior people, they prefer this one. Because the digital one, sometimes the reading, lari, you don't know what is the reading because they keep moving up and down. This one, you can see, right? Okay. So most senior electricians, they prefer this one. And you see, I keep it in nice packets, and then I take out the battery. Battery I keep in another place. Because my instrument box got a lot of instruments. So I carry it all in the back. These are just my meter bag. Okay. So my battery, I keep it in front. Okay. I keep all my battery. I don't want to keep it in the same place, You know why? Battery link inside here, still go inside the meter. So I keep it in a separate sealed container in a different compartment of the bag. Okay. So these are some ideas when you become contractors later. Okay. Because you go and buy expensive equipment and then short while battery go and damage it. Okay. Battery leakage would cause my fluke is 1007. Just battery leakage gone. Okay. So for instrument, you must go to Imperial. Okay. Bintulu. And then for me in Kuching, I trust another shop called Crown. Okay. Okay. Crown Engineering. So, and Cebu, I go to, okay, if you go to, in front of UCTS, there's a road, right, going to Unicity. You keep going till the end, there's a junction. Beyond the traffic light is the bridge, okay? So you go straight, you take this way. You take this way a bit, you can see on top, semi-D factory shop, you can see Panasonic. That's the shop. Cebu, that's the okay one, okay? Okay. But for me, still Crown is number one lah. Okay, Crown Engineering number one in Sarawak, I think, in terms of, because as an electrical contractor, you cannot just buy anything. You must have quality. You go and buy the wrong thing, and then your project fail, explosion here, fire here and there. You cannot, as a contractor, you can, hey, these people sell me wrong thing. Their problem, not my problem. You cannot say like that. As a contractor, you are supposed to know who is a good one and who is a bad one, locally as well as internationally. Okay, so internationally, I only use one brand for all my switches. Okay, Schneider. Schneider is the best one. Okay, so I only use Schneider. Okay. So, okay, so let's go back to why Sarawak must use hydro. Just move on now. Okay. If you look at this one, yeah, before we go to hydro, let me show you one thing first. You see, the senior guys told me one of the biggest problems in Sarawak is this one. Okay, they screw a little bit on the plastic. Why? Actually, I blame Cisco, Wyman instructor. Okay, because Cisco exam, last time your exam you're taking used to be only Cisco. You cannot take any other place. And then that examiner will look for copper. Okay, Sikit, you have a bit of copper, -2 marks. -2, -2, -2 until you can fail, you know. Because there's a lot of squaring you have to do during your practical exam. So that's why they strip very little in Sarawak, the technicians. And because they strip little, they tend to screw on the plastic. I've seen so many cases. Myself, I've seen also during my projects. And then the senior guys told me all over Sarawak, number one problem is this one. You see, black wire is another issue. You see, this one is in Unimas. This motor, for 4 or 5 years, it cannot run. I went there, I just used a pen knife to scrape it. Okay, and it worked. Because at the time I didn't have a file. My favorite thing is actually a file. Okay, so you must use a file. Okay, to file off the copper. I mean, sandpaper is one way, but sandpaper, I found out that if you sandpaper with your finger, you tend to sandpaper your finger also. This one you can control. Okay, you can control a bit. Okay. Okay, so this is very important for you. Okay. Okay, this is basically how the generator works. You see, this is barcode. Okay, you got red, yellow and blue. Okay, so what is this? This one is red clockwise, red anti-clockwise. Yellow clockwise, yellow anti-clockwise. Blue clockwise, blue anti-clockwise. Okay, so when the center magnet pass this one, the red will be high. I pass this one, the next one is blue anti-clockwise. Okay? Blue anti-clockwise, so blue will be high from the bottom. Then it passes the yellow, so yellow will be high on top. Okay, so that's how you get a three-phase. So three-phase is basically, initially it's just one phase. Okay, and then Nikola Tesla, who did this, he said, hey, better I put three, because if not, the space inside is wasted. So you're going to put three. Other people say, hey, why don't you put more than three? 20. Said, no, three is the best. And later they found out three is really the best. Okay. So basically the three phase is basically you put three generators into one generator. That's what it is. Okay. Instead of one generator, you put three generators inside one. Okay. So what's the difference? It's just the timing is different only. Okay. They're all having the AC output, but the timing, you say this is time here. Okay. So there's 20 milliseconds for one full cycle. From here, the blue, you see the blue from here to here is one full cycle. The meaning of one cycle is one round. Okay. Okay. That means the rotor turn exactly one round. That's one cycle. Okay. Okay. Okay, so when it goes to Cebu, when the Bakun, this one passes this one, immediately Cebu, this one will become magnet. I pass this one, immediately this one will become magnet. I pass this one, immediately this one will become magnet. Okay, so you have a rotating magnetic field in Cebu's motor. This is a generator, this is a motor. So you have a rotating magnetic field in the stator. Stator means stationary. Rotor means rotating. Okay, so that rotating magnetic field will make your rotor turn. And that's how the induction motor works. This is the main motor of the world right now. Your fan, your aircon is all induction motor. Okay? So that's how you get three-phase. So why you cannot join phase to phase? You look at this. This is time. This x-axis is time. Okay? Between here and here is a very high voltage. Even though it's made in the same generator, but the timing is different. So here is positive, very high here. Here, negative here. So you join at this moment of time, red and blue, boom, it'll be explosion. Okay, very big explosion. Okay. Okay, so that's how you get three-phase. Okay. So some people think three-phase house, they actually have three-phase machine. No, the house are all single-phase machine. Okay. I've only seen one time a house with three-phase machine. Actually, it's not a house, it's a big one. Okay, so it's a three-phase aircon. The compressor outside is taller than me. Okay, the compressor is taller than me. So it's very rare people buy a three-phase aircon. It's very cool. I mean, I cannot stand. The aircon is still cool. Okay, it's a Panasonic lah, which is what you should buy. I think I don't know, but for me, I believe in Panasonic. Okay. My washing machine, yeah, I got three kids, my wife and me. The Panasonic washing machine, at the bottom is a gear, plastic gear, and in the motor is here. It will turn the plastic gear, and this plastic gear will turn the drum. Okay, this plastic gear, my house won't spoil after 14 years. That plastic gear, no damage. Plastic. Okay, so Panasonic quality 9 lah. I don't know. They are very good in their material engineering and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I see another brand. So that's why my house is all Panasonic. Okay. Okay. Okay, the last thing I want to show you about basic refresher about electrical. Okay, basically this is the guy lah. Okay, the guy who invented the whole thing. Okay, Nikola Tesla. Edison is the one who hired him. He's from Serbia, and then Edison, Croatia, I think, Croatia. So Edison in New York hired this guy, and this guy turned out to be a super genius lah. Right now, the whole world is looking for his ideas because he is not normal. I mean, he is beyond normal by far. Okay, he can create a machine in his mind and slowly change the dimension in his mind until he get it right in his mind before he start building it outside. Okay, so it's beyond, and his knowledge in 1900 is much higher than the current day scientists. Current day scientists cannot even near. Okay, I give you an example. Okay, right now we have Samsung phone. Okay, the Samsung phone you put on a something like that, wireless charging, right? His wireless transmission from the Earth going to outer space. Imagine nowadays Samsung is like top technology company in the world. They have to put like that. Not here, must be like that now. Okay, Samsung. Okay, 1900, he can send wireless to space. Okay, so you see how far he's ahead of today's scientists. Okay, so all the top scientists are trying to read his work. Okay? He did develop the whole electrical system of the world. Okay. Okay. So last thing I want to show you about the future a bit. Electric car is going to come, I guarantee, 100%. Okay, electric car is 100%. I see all the predictions. There's no way we keep on burning the petrol in our cars. Okay. Some people say, "Hey, you use electric car." Okay, not in Sarawak, say other country. The combustion engine is still burning petrol, but you have one big combustion engine to make electricity. It's much more efficient than each car burning petrol. Okay, always there's called economy of scale. And if a big, it's much more efficient. And then the big one, you can put pollution control inside there. Heavy duty, latest technology, you put pollution control inside there. Each car, you go and put pollution control inside there, the car will be too expensive. Okay, so that's why there's no question about it. Electric car is coming. It's already very big in other countries. Malaysia is a bit slower to follow because we got Petronas oil to consume. But in most other countries, Europe especially, they're very far into electric cars. Okay? But one of the biggest reasons you need electric car, which even politicians can understand. You know why politicians can understand? China, Indonesia, India, France, and Britain already set a time. Okay, that means by this year, all cars in the country must be electric. They already fixed. Politicians make the decision. How can politicians make a decision like that? They are not technical. But so many countries, they can make a decision like that. You see, in Cisco, I was in Cisco, what we produce in power station must equal to what people use. Supply and demand must be exactly the same. Okay? But the petrol station, I mean, all the power station, we run a bit extra. That extra is called spinning reserve. Okay. That extra is called spinning reserve. What's the meaning of spinning reserve? It's just like you're in your car and you're traffic jam in Cebu. Traffic jam in Cebu, the car is ramping up, right? But you're not moving. That's exactly what spinning reserve is. So the petrol station, they go, but what they use, they take out from the generator is not that high. What they take out is exactly how much DC you put in the rotor. The DC, you must put DC in the rotor because the rotor is not a permanent magnet. Okay, this is a permanent magnet. Okay, but they don't use permanent magnet. They use electromagnet. That means they put DC into a coil. Okay, so what the people using in Sarawak is exactly how much DC you put inside here. When you put DC inside here, more from the coil outside, it produces more current and gives people more current. Okay, so why they need to ramp extra? Because the ramping is slow. You see, if your car also, when you press your accelerator, it's not so immediately you can go, right? Good car, yeah lah, you got Ferrari, very fast, right? Can't chill after a while. Okay. The combustion engine, there's one left in Sarawak in Kuching. The piston is 6 feet across. Piston. So you suddenly you take a long time, car already very long. Imagine a piston 6 feet across. It take very long time for it to to catch up. Okay. So what happened in Sarawak in the grid, because we're all connected, right? From Kuching to Miri, we're all joined up. That's called the grid. Okay. Suddenly, Bakun got eight generators. One of them tripped, something wrong. Okay. So the rest of Sarawak not enough power, right? Because missing one generator. So why they run extra? The mechanical energy is there. And already, they just put extra DC, immediately come up power. Okay. So that's called the spinning reserve. Okay. So when you put in the DC inside here, you come out immediately. That means come out here immediately. Okay. So that spinning reserve of Sarawak, okay, Sarawak spinning reserve is 30%. That means if Sarawak is burning petrol, we don't use other things, we only use burn petrol. Just that means Sarawak, all the power stations are just like your car. Okay? We are burning 30% extra petrol, It's just like traffic jam. Okay? 30% extra. That's a lot of money. If you use electrical, what happens? You see, right now you're in class. Maybe some of you are in your home, you plug in your car. So most of your car is plugged in most of the time. Because you work only 8 hours. Even while working also you plug in. Because car park also they plan to put plug point. Okay? So most of the car in Sarawak is plugged in. Suddenly Bakun take from people's car. The battery energy is the fastest backup. You see, that's why banks, all banks in Sarawak has a battery bank. Why? Their computer system cannot down. Down, their battery will back it up immediately. Okay? Only battery can do that. Until your computer don't shut down. Only battery can do that. Other thing, combustion engine. Bank also have combustion engine. But combustion engine will take 1 or 2 minutes, or sometimes even 5 minutes to come in. Okay? By the time your computer is down already. Okay? So battery backup is the fastest. Immediately take from people's car, you're safe. So what happened? You no need to burn 30% extra. Okay? So that's why these politicians, even though politicians are mostly businessmen or lawyers, they can come up with this idea. Let's do electric car. Okay? Because it can save 30% pollution. Other people are trying to do reduction pollution 1%, 0.5%, not 30%. Okay? It's very, very high. Okay? So that's why electric car is going to come in, and then electric car will be definitely like this. Yeah, hang on. Okay. Okay. So these are some of the electric car. Okay, this one just they make themselves on that. Okay, they take the engine, put a motor there. Then behind the back seat they put battery, and then in the front they put genset in case the battery might charge. Okay. So this is a Tesla, the first Tesla. So these are the current Teslas. You see, there's no engine. Even though here they look like engine, actually it's not engine, it's just a metal. The only engine is here. The motor, one is motor, one is a computer. That's it. Nothing else in the car. Okay. So you see what they do in the car, why they can remove all the engine is You say this is normal speed. Okay. You want faster, what you do? You make the wave very close to each other, faster. You want more power, what you do? You make the wave very high. Okay. So everything is done by controlling the wave. So that's why you don't need the whole engine. Okay. So you look at this slide, you can tell already why the Electrica are going to win. The weight 180. This one sixth the weight. 1/6 the weight, but the power is double the power. How to lose? Okay. For 1/6 the weight, you can have double the power. That one already win. Okay. And then you see, combustion car, when you in the Pen Borneo highway, you want to overtake someone. It's not that you cross all the way, you can overtake. There's somewhere in between to get the maximum torque. Okay. But Electrica is mostly constant. Yeah. Okay, so most cars will be like this. Like this, Europe already like that. You see, every car park has a plug point. Okay, every car park has a plug point. Okay, and then this plug point is so cheap. You want to build a petrol station like 5 million ringgit. This one, tak sampai 1,000 enough. Okay. Okay. So these are some of the plug points lah. Okay, the next thing is I want to show you about the okay. So this is a grid lah. Okay, the grid going all the way, this all over the just of the grid. Okay. You look at this, Sarawak, we're going to do 13 dams. Why we need 13 dams? Because we are at equator. Okay, we are just 1 degree above the equator. 1 to 5 lah. We go up to Lawas, there is about 5. Kuching is just 1 degree above the equator. Okay. So because on the equator, we have the most rain in the world. Most rain in the world plus mountain. Compared to other countries, look at this. This is Africa. Kenya and Tanzania is also equator, but something went wrong there. Okay, that means whatever happened here that caused this whole region to be desert somehow affected this one also. That's why Kenya and Tanzania has even less rain than Europe. Okay, but Congo here is exactly Sarawak weather, but no mountain. You say there's no mountain there. Okay, no mountain. How to do hydroelectric? Then you got Brazil. The whole Brazil is basically the Amazon basin. There's hardly any mountains there. But the little mountains they have, they're going to make hydro. So Brazil is number 2 hydro in the whole world. Okay, number 1 hydro is China. Number 2 is Brazil. Okay, so that's a justification why we need to do hydro. Okay, in Sarawak. So like, if you give us something, you need to use it. Okay, for the next 1 hour, I'll just go through all the exams in your Electrical Ordinance exams. Okay. I don't know if you know about it, but you have 3 exams. Okay, you got 1 exam is your Wyman exam, 2.5 hours. 1 exam 2 hours. Normally this is morning, this one afternoon. Okay, this is objective. It's called Ordinance exam. Okay, EOER they call it. Okay, it's 70 questions, objective questions. So you must get 70% marks. Okay, to pass. 69 also they fail you. So that's why Ordinance, I'll email you all the questions I have. You have all there lah, because most of the questions they recycle. Okay, so I'll go through some for this next hour. Okay, and then the 3rd exam is practical. Okay, mostly the practical is on the next day, but sometimes you are from outstation, you want to take it the same day. Okay, so 1 go all 3. No, that's not possible. It's not possible you take practical the same day, because this is 2 hours morning. So normally 8 to 10:30. This one is maybe 1 to 3, and not possible you take practical. No, it's not possible on the same day. It must be at least a 2nd day. Okay, so practical is 2nd day lah. Okay, so I'll email you all the exam questions I have. Okay, so you have to memorize all of them. okay, because they tend to recycle the EOER exam. EOER. Okay. So we go through the exam. Let me send it to you right away so I don't forget. Okay, I just sent it to you. Please let me know if you receive it. If you haven't, we'll put in the message your new email. So I send you. You should receive it in about 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me go through the exam. Okay, so I hope I've given you the basics of electrical, what's going on in the electrical industry, and it's going to be Sarawak's biggest industry because the Sarawak government actually thought electronics would be our industry, so they put a lot of focus on Samajaya industrial area in Kuching to make things like electronics, handphones, stuff like that. But it didn't work out. China took over that business, so now we are focusing on power because we got power. So why don't we use our advantage? Okay. And we don't have advantage in electronics because electronics needs size, okay, big size. We cannot be that big size. And we cannot compete with China because they are so big, okay? So power is something that is our own. We have the power, okay, because of the equatorial climate, okay? So we must use that advantage, okay? Okay, so... Okay, you see, this is how the wording all you must memorize. Please tell me if you receive it, in the email. Okay. Okay. You mean receive? Okay. Okay. So okay, let me go through the exam. Okay, you must see the words they use in the exam. Licensee, who is licensee? There's only one licensee in Sarawak. Okay, that is Cisco. Okay. Only Sesco is licensing in Sarawak. That means only Sesco can sell electricity in Sarawak. So if you go and do a kampong project, making electricity, maybe hydro or something, okay? Legally, you cannot sell. Say you are a kampong person, but you go and make a micro hydro in a kampong, and you want to sell to people in the kampong. By law, you cannot, okay? The only one given the legal right to sell electricity in Sarawak is Sesco. Okay, it is Sesco, it is not SAB. Okay, SAB is not in the law. Okay, the law calls it Sesco. Okay, in fact, they had a meeting. All the YBs, they had a meeting to change it to SAB, Sarawak Energy Berhad. But the YBs don't like it, so it is in the law. It is still Sesco. Okay, that's why your electric bill is Sesco. You want to take a legal case against Sesco, it has to be Sesco, not SAB. Okay? Okay. So how does the licensee granted under this section of ordinance? Oh, this English was not enough. Okay, that means how the licensee can be a licensee. The licensee must make a payment. That means Sesco must make a payment to the state government. Okay? Some fees. Okay? See, this dot here is the answer. Okay? Including payment and payment of any fees to the authority payable under any other written laws as they appear to the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri to be expedient. Okay, remember the ketua of wait a minute, I'm not sharing, sorry. I forgot to share, sorry. The ketua of the chief of in electrical terms, number one is not the chief minister of Sarawak. Number one in electrical is Yang di-Pertuan Negeri, that means type. Okay? So number one in electrical is type. Number two is the boss of EIU. Okay? Okay? EIU boss, who is right now Fauzi, is number two in electrical. Okay? Number one is type. According to the law. You must know this. It comes out in exam. Okay? Of course, you don't need to know it's type, but you must know it's independent degree. In the exam is asked like that. And okay. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, for electrical, number one, yeah, you're not SAB or Sesco. Okay, in law terms, Sesco is below this one. Okay, and number one in this is Yang di-Pertuan Negeri, that means type. But they never ask you the name of type. They just put the word Yang di-Pertuan Negeri. Always come on exam. And then this one also always come on exam. Okay. Number two of EIU will come on exam. You must know who is number one, number two, and also who is below that. Okay. Okay. So below the inspectors of EIU. Okay. Inspectors of EIU have the power of magistrate, okay, and power of police. Pretty much, you must treat them like the police, okay. That means they can come into your house within stipulated time. That means between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. They can come to your house and you cannot allow there, okay. They have the right, just like police, to come to your house and arrest you if you're doing some. But their view is only electrical. They cannot. You do something else, they cannot catch you. You do something wrong in electrical, these people can catch you, the inspectors. Okay? So in the exam, it come out what time they can come into your house. 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. except for certain factories which is 24 hours, then they can come in anytime they want. Okay? And if you stop them, it's an offense. Okay? you stop them from coming to your house is actually an offense, just like you stop police from coming to your house. Okay? Because they suspect you're doing something criminal in your house. Like police, they suspect you're doing something criminal in your house. They have a right to come to your house. Okay? That's why you cannot stop them. Okay? This is all in the law, okay? You want to break the law, it's up to you. You don't know you can get away with it or not. Normally, the law is a law. I mean, of course, there are a lot of people who always break the law. Some get away with it, some don't. Okay. 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 Number 2. A reference to Yang di Negeri Stated Ordinance is a reference to Yang di Negeri acting in accordance with the advice of Majlis Mesyuarat Kerajaan Negeri or of a member acting under the general authority of the Majlis. Okay, that means the Majlis, this is another thing you must know. You must know this word. Majlis Mesyuarat Kerajaan Negeri is a committee of the Kerajaan Negeri that picks the EIU boss. Okay, but they don't pick it directly. It must be given to the Yang di Negeri, and Yang di Negeri said, okay. If not, he can veto. You can choose another person. I don't like this guy. Okay, the type can say that. Okay, you have a meeting and choose another guy. I don't like this one. Okay, so the final decision is by type. So everything final decision is type. Okay, like it happens a lot these days because there are people fighting against SESCO. SESCO say you didn't pay a bill, you steal electricity. The one who can ampun, okay, is type. Okay, so type say, now man, I know you steal electricity for 5 years. Max SESCO lose 1 million or 2 million or something. They don't talk on small numbers. I'm talking about 20 million. Okay, but type can say, okay, now man, ampun. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, you must know that for your exam. Okay. Okay, who may by notification in the Gazette appoint a director, okay, who shall have the powers, function, and duties as may be prescribed in ordinance, and such other duties and function as a Majlis Mesyuarat Negeri may by order assigned to him. Okay, so appoint director. Who shall who by the way oh, I think this one, sorry, the answer is wrong. The answer should be Yang di Negeri. The final say is by the Yang di Negeri. So the letter of offer for the EIU boss should be from the type. Okay, it's not from Majlis Mesyuarat Negeri. It should be from type. So I think the answer should be Yang di Negeri here. Okay. Okay. Next one. Who has the authority to fix the maximum prices at which authority may electricity may be resold by any person unlicensed to any customers or group of customers in area particular in any particular area of premise, and may publish the prices so fixed in such as in his opinion will secure adequate publicity for them. So the minister in charge of electrical, who is now I think Stephen Rumdi. Okay, let's check. Okay. Minister of Utilities Sarawak. Let's see. I think last I checked is Steven Rundi lah. Okay. In the website they didn't put Rundi. No, I want to put website they don't put who is minister. Very strange. Yes, Steven Rundi last I heard. So the minister, Steven Rundi, is the one who fixed the price of electricity. And remember, we have the cheapest price in Malaysia. It used to be more expensive than the rest of Malaysia, Semenanjung, but now we are much cheaper than Semenanjung. Who has a provision under the ordinance? You know what I mean? Ordinance is a word for law. Okay, you got electrical ordinance, you got labor ordinance. Okay, those are all name of laws. Okay? Who has provision under ordinance are not liable for any loss or damage caused to any person or suspension of operation and use of any installation or apparatus by the suspension or revocation of a license under the ordinance. Okay. So licensee and his or her engineer. That means you cannot sue SESCO for some loss or damage. Okay, someone climb up a tower and kill themselves, or even more obvious, sometimes even if it is SESCO's fault, by this law you cannot sue them. Okay. Okay. You cannot sue SESCO or any of the engineers. Okay. I mean, next time, I know some of you might take law case against SESCO. You have to lose lah if you're doing one of these things. You will lose, but sometimes it might take time. Your lawyer very good, it might take 1 year sometimes. Okay. The quantity of electricity supplied shall be ascertained by the appropriate meter, and who provide meter must be SESCO, yeah, licensee. The word for SESCO in the law exam is licensee. Okay. So where shall the tariff fix be published? Okay, at Gazette in at least 2 newspapers. It's always standard in all exam also. Whenever you want to give notice to the public, it must be 2 papers of high circulation. Cannot be any ala paper. Must be the highest circulation paper, 2 of them. Okay. And this one, is it even the law, how much you get fined for making a mistake also will come out in the exam. In case of first offense, any licensee who fails, this licensee, that means SESCO themselves make a mistake. Okay. Any licensee who fails without lawful excuse to comply with any of the conditions stipulated in his license shall be subjected to 20,000. Now, of course, SESCO must pay 20,000 if they themselves do something wrong, according to EIU and the Majlis Masyarakat. Okay, next page. Upon able to produce official identification card or badge, when does a person shall be obliged to admit to his premise any person purporting to be an inspector. Okay, so between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Okay, that means inspector means EIU inspector. I told you I have the power of police. Okay, unless your factory is 24-hour operation, then they can go in anytime. If you set your factory is normal operation between 8 to 5, they can come in between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Who may by notification in the Gazette appoint the electrical inspector? So appointing is Majlis Masyarakat Ketua Negeri, but the appointing also. That means, but the final approval is typed lah. Okay. Appoint the electrical inspector. Okay, so Majlis Masyarakat Ketua Negeri. What shall a licensee do before entering any land other than state land for the purpose of installing any system distribution of energy under Electrical Ordinance? Give notice to the owner of that land. What's the meaning of this? So, say this is my house in Kuching. Okay? But SESCO engineer, he go and do a design. Wow, this location very good. We want that location. So they want my house. They want to put a pole in the middle of my house. So what they have to do? They give me a letter. SESCO is taking your house. That's it. They don't have to give me any money. That's the law. Okay. That's actually the law. The law really favors SESCO. But they found out it's actually not a very good law, because I give you an example. Bellingham Power Station is the latest power station of SESCO. Okay. They already built it, but the line going out of the power station, one small section, some guy got a lawyer. You know he'll lose. According to that law just now I read out, he will lose. SESCO can take his land, his factory, whatever. According to the law, they can take anything. Okay. But that guy, he got a very good lawyer. He hold off SESCO taking his land for 1.5 years. So SESCO going to do calculation. Bellingham Power Station cannot run 1.5 years. Versus we give him 1 or 2 million. Which one is better? He said, yeah, it's true. Better we give him 1 or 2 million that he's asking for. Okay. Because you know why? Bellingham Power Station did not run. Give me right now. Okay. So that man is asking for 2 million. Bellingham Power Station in 1.5 years. Okay. It lost 170 million. So who lose more? He only won 2 million. This one they lost 170 million. So in the end, it is SESCO who lose if you don't give proper pasang. Okay. So because your project will be delayed. Okay. So that's why they are trying to take away that law now. So currently, as for your exam, you must know the law is Cisco can come and take your house. They don't have to give anything in return. They just have to show a letter. I'm taking your house. Okay. So for your exam, that's the law. Okay. So you see, what shall a licensee do before entering any land other than state land for the purpose of installing any system of distribution of energy under the Electrical Ordinance? Give notice to the owner or occupier of the land. Doesn't mean that. Okay. They can take any land they want. But they're going to change this law because, but it's still not yet changed. It's still, for your exam, you know this law. So what may happen to any apparatus that is placed in state land which is not removed within 6 months after the expiration of the license under the authority by which the apparatus was so placed? Okay. So if for example, you leave a car by the side of the road, because Rosa, you leave it by the side of the road. Okay. Okay. So what may happen to any apparatus in state land which is not removed from it within 6 months after expiration of the license under the authority by which the apparatus was so placed? So it becomes a state property. So if you leave your car by the side of the road more than 6 months, the government can take your car. Okay. I mean this one talking about electrical law, but it's similar. Okay. Say you leave a crane, electrical crane, by the side of the road for more than 6 months, so government can take your crane. Which authority may inspect the work and, I mean, crane means in electrical, mostly they call it skylift. I found out skylift is not an international word. Only in Sarawak they use it. So international is something else. Okay. But Sarawak is very common as skylift. Okay. Which authority may inspect the works and the installation of power generating plant during construction? So Director of Electricity Supply, Aussie, he can inspect any plant during construction. Okay. So the answer is Director of Electrical Supply, Sarawak. Okay. Which authority may inspect the works and installation of power generating equipment during the shutdown? So Director of Electrical. What is the action to be taken in the event of a licensee, management, and person in charge of installation become aware of defects which is likely to cause danger? Make good on defect. So this is very important. Wow, I'm not sharing. Sorry. Okay. Let me share and read again. What is the action to be taken in the event of a licensee, management, and person in charge of installation becoming aware of the defect which is likely to cause danger? So make good or remove the defect. So the meaning of this is, if a licensee like Cisco, they see something wrong, they must solve it. Actually, it's a rule for like me, chargeman. If I see something wrong, I must solve it. Okay, I can charge the customer, but I must highly recommend that he change it in writing. Oh, I see this problem in your house. I write a small note, and you keep original, give the copy to the customer. You must change this. I mean that's the job of all engineers lah. Okay, they are supposed to solve the problems. Okay. So in fact, the law is, if you know your neighbor is stealing electricity, it came on the Borneo Post once. You know your neighbor is stealing electricity. I tak peduli lah. He steal lah. Cannot. If the police come to your house and ask you, Hey, you know your neighbor sitting in MCT. I think so. I very high suspicion, but I don't care. It's not my business. That's against the law. You know, and you didn't do something about it. You're guilty. You say, I don't know my neighbor. I never talked to him. Okay, then you are safe. But you know, and you don't do something, you're actually guilty. Okay. So as a judgment, you know something is wrong, and you didn't make an attempt. Of course, you cannot repair it because you didn't get a contract or whatever. But you must highly recommend that this thing be changed because, in my opinion, it's very bad. You write a small note to that person and you keep original, give a copy to them. Okay, that at least you must do. Okay. I mean, same thing for any crime, lah. You know your neighbor is a murderer and you don't tell police. I don't know. I'm sure it is similar to electrical law. Okay, you know your neighbor is a criminal. You don't tell the police. You are also guilty. Okay, because you know but you don't tell. You tell the police, I don't know my neighbor. Okay, then you're safe now. But you say, I think he's a criminal. I have a lot of evidence, but I don't want to tell the police. You're actually guilty. Okay. Okay, next one. Let me. Actually, one thing going relation to that, you must be observant of electrical. You're already taking YMN. You know, I also started after I took when I was learning for my judgment exam, I started being observant of all electrical things that I see around me. Okay, I know before you take electrical, you don't care about those things. It's not your business. Okay, but once you start being in electrical, everywhere I drive also I see the overhead line. Okay, in the housing estate, in people's house, I look at the electrical because that's my field. Okay, so you should be like that, lah. Then you can learn electrical faster by just observing all that you see around you, all electrical that you see around you. Okay. In submitting the application for approval, the sample delivered shall have the label with the following. Say, what's the meaning of this? You want to import something from China, for example, some new thing, electrical thing. Here you must give approval. Okay, is it like Sirim Chop? Okay, so here you got your own chop for electrical equipment. Okay? You must go to them before you can start selling in Sarawak. So what are the things you must give EIU? The energy efficiency of the equipment, the copies of certificate in relevant qualification, the full name applicant, that means you lah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, tak ada 1, 2, 3 1 and 3 lah, what to do? Okay. Okay. In order for a person to be allowed to manufacture, import, display, sell, or advertise this equipment, an approved and director of electrical supply, that means Fauzi lah, must be obtained. Okay. Any domestic equipment, no. Any equipment for proposals and sale, any equipment which is usually sold directly to the general public, okay, you need approval from Fauzi. Any equipment which does not require special skill in operation. Okay, so 2, 3, 4 lah. Okay, cannot be any domestic equipment. Okay, next one. The board shall consider issuing a certificate of competency to a foreigner if she has the following things, following terms. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. He has necessary work permit issued by the relevant authority. Maybe he can work in Sarawak. I remember the EIU is only for Sarawak. Semenanjung is different. Okay. EIU is only for Sarawak. Semenanjung is ST, Suruhanjaya Tenaga. So you get Wyman here, you cannot go there. Get from there, you cannot come here. Okay. It's different law. Okay. We have two laws different from Semenanjung. Electric law and the labor law. Okay. Sarawak labor and electric law is different from Semenanjung. All the rest of the law are the same. Okay. Okay, next one. So board may consider competency for a foreigner if he has necessary work permit, possess necessary expertise. Okay, remember you don't need SPM and Form 3 to take your YMAN. You fail Form 3 also can, as long as you can speak and write in BM or English. Okay. So possess necessary expertise in the physical and his physical presence is required in Sarawak. Okay. He or she possess the necessary qualification and skills. Okay. So in this case, most of the qualification will be one-man judgment lah. Okay. Then you can take a foreigner. Most of the foreigners they take Semenanjung people, considered foreigner to work here, because that means EIU have to approve. That means the electrician from Semenanjung want to work here, EIU must approve, especially from this question. Okay. Next one, which means should be provided to achieve an effective isolation of an electrical system, protecting every power system from excess current, making dead every power system, making dead every branch of the distribution system without any interruption of supply to the remainder system. Okay, so normally I talk with the senior guys, okay, the top guys who are 30 years, 20 years, 30 years in the field. They are not like the brave, mud and pit. Yeah, like the senior guys are not like that. Senior guys always off before they start to work. Okay, they're not like mud and pit. The brave here and there. No, the senior guys are not like that. So that's why they told me the one they hate the most is battery bank of the bank. The bank's battery bank. They cannot off. Battery of a car, you still can tell it goes only 12 volts. But bank is they put a lot together until it becomes 240 volts. 240 volt can kill you. Okay? That's why this senior technician don't like it the most. Okay? I've made my own paper and a publication that said why should you use we can put contactors around the battery such that it's normally off. Okay, that way the repairer can come and the power supply coming out of the battery is zero because all the contactors are off. Okay, because they're normally off. NO. Okay, so you want it to produce electricity, the battery bank, you on all the contactors around the battery. Okay, so that's one solution I wrote in my paper, okay, because the battery bank repair is a big issue for electricians. So why don't you just put normally off contactors around it? Okay. Okay, next. Which of the following is classified as electrical work under Electrical Ordinance? Rules. Okay, remember, Electrical Ordinance and rules is two different things. Actually, it's the same thing. The Electrical Ordinance is a big law. The rules are finer. Okay, you want to take a foreigner. The rules will give you finer things of how you take formula to work in Sarawak. That's an example. Okay. The rules are more detailed of the Electrical Ordinance. Okay. Okay, because Electrical Ordinance is a big law. The rules is finer of how exactly you do it. Okay, you want to take a foreigner to work in Sarawak. Just now the question is how to take a foreigner. But more detail, you go to rules. You must remember this. That's why your exam is EOER. Okay? EOER. Okay? That's why your exam is EOER. Electrical Ordinance, Electrical Rules. Okay? In fact, for me, it doesn't make sense why they do that. I mean, maybe a bit of sense because so the law is always the big things. The rules are the finer things. Okay? Okay. Next one. How does a flexible cable for portable apparatus be connected to the system? Proper installation to complete isolation, or proper isolation or complete isolation. Okay. How does a flexible cable for portable apparatus be connected to the system? By proper installation or complete isolation, by heat conduction or complete isolation, that one for sure out. By mechanical and electrical protection or proper earthing and neutral. That sounds the most correct. Okay, so C is the best one. Okay. Next one. Wait. Okay. Which of the following is not true? With respect to any switchgear fuse, they must be constructed in such a manner that an arc can be made. Maintained, or definitely D is not answer, or because they asked for not true, not true. You see, the thing in between electrical contact is called arc, okay? Okay? And of course, you don't want the arc. Because the arc is like lightning, you see? To contact. Okay? Break out. Close out. That thing, most people call it spark. Orang biasa panggil spark. Orang electrical panggil arc. Okay? Okay, so the arc is like lightning, very powerful, very high voltage. Okay? So that's very dangerous. Okay, so electrical system like MCB is designed to take away the arc. How they do that? They blow at it. The blows will become thin and long. Okay, the more thin and longer you blow, the the longer the arc will be, okay, then the safer it is, okay. So that's how you handle arc. So how they blow, most of the time in history of mankind, they use oil. Now they're using a gas called SF6. SF6 gas, okay. So it's sulfur hexafluoride gas. They're blowing at the arc, okay. Okay, to blow on the arc, use SF6 gas. Okay, so sulfur with 6 fluorine around it. Okay. Okay, so sulfur with 6 fluorine around it is the most common gas they use nowadays, because they found out it's much more stable than oil. The problem with what you blow, the blowing can ionize the oil. And when you have ionized oil, remember any ions, plastic or metal or air, as long as ion is a conductor. So in your big circuit breaker, you blow that, because how to make ions out of atoms? Arc is a way. Okay. So anytime you switch, the oil, little bit oil that you blow become ions. Okay. It can sometimes change back to atoms, but if there's in your tank of oil, there's so much ions, when you blow, it'll be explosion, because instead of blowing an insulator, you're blowing a conductor. So it'll be explosion. So when I joined Cisco, they display all these broken switch gears in Biawak. That's one place in Cisco. So you look at the metal like Kereta Kabal, very, very thick. The electric, electric is just too powerful. Okay. Okay. I don't think a bullet, even a bomb, cannot make a hole in metal that big. Okay, this one is just broken like paper. Okay, that's why electrical is very, very powerful. You don't play with that one. Okay. Okay. What kind of notice shall be placed outside a place containing electrical equipment where unauthorized interference of the equipment may be expected and where such interference is dangerous? Do not enter dilarang masuk. This one, even the how big the dilarang masuk, all they got specs. You have to make the sign, but you can make yourself, but must follow the spec of the exactly how to make the do not enter or dilarang masuk. Okay. The Electric Rules 1999 is made under Section 36. So you want to think like this, also I have to memorize. Okay, we can read through. Which of the following is not true regarding any part of installation where the switchboard or equipment is installed in any premise? Cannot, it should not be used. Okay, not true, shall be used for storage of any kind. I give you an example. I was working in a school, okay, before. In technical school. So at the place where the Cisco meter is, because the shop lot, because neighbor is a pub, okay, they put all the beer cans there. That one larang against this law, okay, because the people cannot reach the Cisco incoming because full of beer, use beer cans there. That is against the law by this law, okay. You cannot block any electrical equipment with anything. That's the law. Okay. Okay, the rest you can read through. Let me finish this page at least. Let me see. Let's finish this page and then we can go. According to Electrical Rule 999, the following are competent persons. A wireman, chargeman, electrical supervisor is a competent person. Competent electrical engineer is a competent person. Electrical supervisory engineer is a competent person. Okay, so the basic things is the most basic G2, wireman G1. So these are some of the competencies. Okay. So Wyman G2, which is what you're taking now, G1. Okay, and then chargeman L1, L2, L3, H1, H2, H3. Okay, EIC, ATT, competent engineer. That means once you get a degree, after you get IR again, then you sit for this exam. So you pass this one. First you take this one. After that you upgrade, you take this one. Okay, so I'm this one now. Okay, so these are all competencies. Anything CGL given by EIU, they're all competency. Okay. Okay, so that's it. That's about the class now. The rest you go through the email I send you. Go through all the rest of the questions. You find that they repeat themselves sometimes. Okay. Okay, so see you. Good luck for exams.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.